Welcome to Chapter 2 on how to signature hunt. I know in Chapter 1 I didn't go too much into detail on how to materially do it, but in this chapter I'm going to show you how to do it anyways, as a response to General Collectables' video. In General Collectables' video, he showed you one method on how to do it, which he believed to be the best way, where you take a bigger envelope, you load it up with the stuff you want signed off with the return envelope with the correct return shipping in top loaders like these, and he says four of them at one time. But the thing about this method is these are only ideal up to 20 cards at a time, without the sorting machines destroying it. For singletons, it's excellent to put it into top loaders like these. But once you go up to about more than 50 at one time, or you're doing this on a very mass scale, this is not the preferred method. It's ideal if you're doing occasionally and you're only sending about 20 to 30 at one time. But outside of about 20 to 30 at one time, it's not gonna hold up. Especially if you're sending valuable stuff for mail-in signing. What you may want to consider is upgrading to something like this. This is a cardboard mailer. I know it's not going to fit in one of these larger envelopes, but this is another way to do it. These could be bought from any local supply, a shipping store, and you can fill it up with all sorts of stuff. These are ideal up to about 80 cards at one time, but after 80 cards, you have to upgrade to a much more elaborate form of shipping. Such as this. This is a bubble mailer. This will fit about 120 at one time. Make sure you don't violate the 13-ounce rule. Otherwise, you have to check this thing at the front desk. These could be bought at any office supply store or any shipping supply store. But if you go to the office supply store, they'll have boxes like these. Some come in 25 as seen here, but depending on where you're getting it from, they might send it to you in boxes of more than 25. It's going to cost you a bit more shipping and a bit more material just to do it properly. But the thing is you're more guaranteed to be rest assured that your stuff is not destroyed or mangled in the process, as these things are going through the sorting machines. Now you might be wondering, there is not going to be any perfect fit envelopes for these cardboard mailers or those bubble mailers. So what should I do about it? Well, an economic solution you can do is to take your paper grocery bags you get from your grocery store. You take them apart and you fit them to size with the envelope, the return envelope you plan to have your stuff returned in. My friends and I have had issues in the past regarding shipping stuff to the artist's location in regards to how do I do it without having to spend an extra fortune on two different types of envelopes. So what we did was we took a bunch of grocery bags that we can get for nickels and dimes, take them apart, and use them as packing material. I'm not going to cut them up. I'm not going to cut these grocery bags up on camera, but for your convenience sake, this is one way to do it. If you don't want to spend extra money on shipping material going one direction and other shipping material going back towards your direction. I've taught this to my friends. I've taught this to multiples of my friends, and it works. As long as you know how to ship stuff to and from location to location. Excuse me. Another way to do it is to do it through priority or express. Make sure you put the correct amount in for when and before you send it to their location. And always tell the artist that you're going to send your stuff through priority. So if there's any issues with priority, you can sort it out on site. I don't highly suggest it, but it's on the table if you want another method to do it. Or you don't want to put up with this, you don't want to put up with that, or you don't want to put up with the basic method. Priority and Priority Express is one of those other methods. You fill out your usual forms, you fill out your insurance forms, you do all the other song and dance regarding to this type of stuff, and you're on your way into getting a very valuable collection signed off. Now, be aware that sometimes some artists internationally will accept mail-ins, and you want to send your stuff over to them. Make sure you have the correct currency, otherwise they're going to send it back to you unsigned and you have to pay the shipping going back towards your direction. Right in my hands right here is a CN22 form. I know not many of you have seen these forms around, but this is one of the forms you have to fill out if you plan to send internationally. I know in other countries it's going to be something else, but in America it's the CN22. What you do is you fill out all the usual song and dance, your address right here, your destination point right here. Make sure you do not mark it as dangerous goods, otherwise you have to pay extra costs, and the person who might be handling it might not be okay with it while it's in the transit process. You fill out the value, if it's valuable, excuse me. Make sure that you're not sending more than $200 worth of stuff internationally at one time, otherwise the mailman's going to force you to do express shipping. I know it's a tough pill to swallow if you're sending to other countries valuable stuff for signing to an artist who accepts them. But if you plan to send internationally, do not mark it more than $200. Otherwise, you're going to end up doing express shipping. My friends and I have made this mistake once, and we have not made it twice. In addition, some artists will say, I want you to put the declaration at a specific amount so you can get it by, so the shipment can get by customs. I highly suggest not doing this, but if the artist says do it anyway, or you want certain stuff signed off, and you're willing to take the high risk, then do what the individual says. I'm not going to name names in regards to who suggests this, but for those of you out there who want to send valuable stuff to artists, just be sure to fill these forms out correctly. Or you can be a total American about it. Hope this video was useful on how to send stuff up through the mail for signing, in addition to sending stuff internationally for signing. This is PTU, signing out.